Hey guys, welcome. I'm excited to be with you today. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation of yay, five stress buster steps to help you come through your issues with overwhelm and stress and anxiety. So welcome, and it's just a real thrill to have you here. I want you to break this down. You're going to want some a notepad so you can take some notes here because we're going to cover five things that are occurring. I'm going to talk two basic parts of the topic today in overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. I'm going to be talking to you about when you're already in the overwhelm and what we can do about it and how we can diffuse it in the moment. Then later at the end, toward the end, I'm going to be talking to you about the way that you actually can begin starting a process of even possibly completely eliminating overwhelm in your life. Imagine that. And in your business, if you're an entrepreneur, we experience overwhelm about family and home and all of it, no matter whether we're entrepreneurs or not. But let's just take a look. Number one, as we go into these five stress busters, number one is understanding. And what that means is to really get clear about why you are having the anxiety overwhelm to begin with. So, I want to talk to you about this thing called an experience because I want to tell you, I'm throughout all of my teachings, anything you'll ever see with me, I'm really about drawing new distinctions about how we view things and the meanings and what we make things mean. And so we're going to talk in this area of understanding as one of the steps is understanding what's happening to you. And most importantly, right now, is looking at who we are and how we are in the experience, not the circumstances that surrounds our overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. Once you're in overwhelm, you are already in the experience of the overwhelm. And it is that experience that you are resisting. See, we are so attuned and trained and conditioned in life to think that our circumstances in our life, what's happening, the situations you're in, what you're needing to do for your building your business or taking care of your family in the process and getting new clients, no matter what's going on, it's not the circumstance that's actually causing you the overwhelm and the stress. It's the experience that you're in. So imagine this. Imagine that when you go through life, you actually are creating your own experience of everything. No circumstance in life is actually giving you an experience. That's a whole new way to look at life. And so if you're having an experience of fear, for instance, or worry, your experience of fear and worry is not about the circumstances, but about something entirely different. It's really about you fearing the unknown that might be lurking in the background if you can't get the job done or meet the payroll or make ends meet and cash flow doesn't work or whatever the circumstances are. It's not that that's causing you the overwhelm and the stress. It's the fear of the unknown of what can happen if you don't get it done. So I want you to take a moment and just think about what's the worst thing that could ever happen. Really and truly, what's the worst thing? You don't have to say it out loud. Right now, I just want you to kind of get the idea of really what the fear factor is all about. The fear factor is really not about whether or not you get the job done. It's about what it's going to mean about you if you don't get the job done. So, number one is understanding that the experience is what you're avoiding, and it's that avoidance that is causing you the suffering, which brings about the stress and anxiety. If you really take a look at it, you could tell me and you could make a list today of how your body reacts to the overwhelm and the stress. That's your key. Number two, so number one is understanding what's really happening. Number two is identifying. So it's like, what about the chatter that's going on in your mind, right? See, while you're in the overwhelm, there's a whole series of thoughts that are traveling through your head. Notice how they come and just swarm. And those thoughts generally are pretty disempowering, right? They're thoughts that of you're never going to get all this done. You never have enough time. This is not going to work for me. How am I going to make ends meet? Who's going to be disappointed in me? All of those thoughts, which we classify as negative thoughts, all of the positive thinking about you will never prevent that from happening, because lurking in the background of all of it is what you're actually fearing, what the experience brings and is attached to. That's what you are actually avoiding. So identifying that mind chatter, your focus on the circumstances will prevent you from being able to hear those voices clearly, the words that are being said, and to stop the resistance of that going on in your mind. When we have one of those negative thoughts, generally I don't want to think that. I shouldn't think that. That's not a good thing to think. Stop doing that. What I want you to do is I want you to be aware that it's happening and do not resist it. Just allow it to come and go and refocus on the task at hand. Number three is the number one cause for stress and anxiety with overwhelm. It's one word, and I want you to capitalize it on your notes, all big caps, so that you're clear that the number one cause for overwhelm and the number one cause for the stress and the anxiety that follows it is resistance. That's right. You are in a state of resistance. You're resisting what it's going to mean about you if you don't get it done. I spoke on this topic just this morning at the Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things someone in the room said was, yeah, I'm really worried about losing a client. And I said, tell me the truth. Are you really worried about losing the client? Have you ever lost a client? Your answer is going to be yes, you've lost a client. All of us, if you've been in business, you've lost a client. So if you've lost a client, what happens afterwards? You get another client, right? So you're not really resisting losing the client. You're resisting what it means about you that you lost the client. That's what's happening. It's not the circumstance, people. It's all going on in here. The experience of life occurs in here. It doesn't occur out there. And nothing out there can cause you to feel a specific way. You generate that. So the number one cause is resisting that experience, the experience of what it means about you. Hey, Laura, thanks for dropping in. So look, number four, simple action to reverse. Simple action to reverse this come on overwhelmed sense of feeling. You can actually feel it building up. You can feel it coming alive within you, right? And, it's interesting. This morning in the conversation also was one woman shared, I just want everybody to get away. I want people to leave me alone. I want to just get it done by myself and get out of my space. And I said, and I bet you don't even have to tell them that, do you? No, because your overwhelm, resistance, and the anxiety that you bring with it permeates through your skin. You don't even have to tell people to leave you alone. It will happen because of your state of being. And your state of being is a reflection of the state of your mind in the process. And when you're there, you are not productive. So allow is the next big key. So if you want to know, the most simple thing to do is allow yourself to experience what you're experiencing, because it has a short fuse. When you allow something to be what's going on, allow yourself to just feel it. Imagine, allow yourself to just feel it. then the feeling goes away and you can actually see what you need to do for you to take care of yourself. And the next most important thing in those actions is to break it all down, people. Get it all out of your head. Get it all out of your system. Write it down. Don't worry about the way you've written it down and what's first and what's next. Just do a mind dump. Get it out of your head. And then the next thing you do is to pick one. Just pick one thing and then close the book on the list and do that one thing. So when you take on the awareness, that when you believe that the awareness is that, oh my gosh, I'm creating the anxiety, I'm creating the experience. That is number one, understanding. Number two, identifying that chatter and allow it to come, allow it to go. Do not try to correct your mind thought, because what it does is it makes it even deeper because it's a place of resistance. Allowing is the number one place for you to get. So I will promise you, if you will work these steps that I've just given you, you will begin to diffuse overwhelm. You will have an awareness of knowing that it's coming on. You can feel it build up. You can hear the chatter in your mind, and you can begin to reach a state of allowing rather than the state of resistance. And once you're there, you are on your way to diffusing it. And when you do, then all doors open up. You get things accomplished. You find the next thing you're supposed to be doing. You will actually hear the kinds of support that you need and the thoughts that you need. But it comes from identifying, having the awareness, allowing yourself to stop the resistance. The pain and the suffering is in the resistance. Stop the resistance and allow. So now we've talked about some things you can do when it's happening. I'd like to offer an opportunity for you to begin to completely eliminate these behaviors occurring within you, because it's not coming at you, it's coming through you. And therefore, that creates more and more and more of the overwhelm occurring. So what if, this is a question to ask yourself, is the overwhelm and the cycles that it occurs and the way that you experience stress and the anxiety? One woman today expressed about how her heart beats fast and her hands get sweaty, and she's an attorney, and she was talking about how it really just interrupts her daily ability to get things done for her firm. And so when that's occurring, what I want you to know is there's a cycle. Look and see, what's the cycle that starts coming? And how could you actually learn to have a mindset in such a way that it actually bypasses overwhelm, stress, and anxiety? So I'd like to tell you about a mini workshop that I have called Creating Mindsets for Success. And it's online. You can join us online. 4 hours of very direct focusing on you, for you, and on how to change that chatter where it doesn't even enter into your daily life, to actually learn how to get workable clues on the stuff that gets in your way of your success. And last but not least, teach you a process by which you can learn how to design the way you want your business or your life or your relationships to show up. You have that ability. And so we'll take you through changing chatter, understanding the things that you are focusing on that are actually costing you the outcomes you want, and then how to structure the results you're after. So the next one of the workshops is March 24th. It will be 2 to 6 Central Time. We're going to spend 4 great hours. You're going to leave there with a plan. You're going to leave there with a plan to create the strategy of your mindset moving forward. And the results of doing that is going to be lesser and lesser to the elimination of overwhelm and stress. Now, here's how you get there. I want you to go to creatingmindsetsforsuccess.com. That's creatingmindsetsforsuccess.com and register there. The next one again is March 24, 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock Central Time, online, working with me in a group. And the power of the group is phenomenal. And you will learn how to change the chatter, to get to know what the things are that interrupt your success the way you want them to be, and learn how to create it out ahead of yourself. And listen, I want you to sign up. Go there, creatingmindsetsforsuccess.com. Sign up today. I'll see you on the 24th. It will be the best $97 you have ever spent. Between now and then, use these steps. Stop it before it starts. And let's change your patterns around your mindset and overwhelm. Until my next session, I will hope you have an incredible remainder of your week. And I will see you next Thursday see you here next Thursday in the Live It Choice, in my Live It Choice page. Oh my God. We're covering a whole new topic. So I'll see you next week, 10:30 a.m. Between now and then, have a good week. Bye now.